We end where we began. Obamacare is failing, and I don't see a solution other than just throwing more money at insurance companies. I'm not going to do that. Do you get that? I'm not going to do it. 45% of the counties in this country have one provider. 45 counties have no choice. It gets worse over time, not better. Here's the idea. Take the same amount of money that you're going to spend on a bureaucrat that never knows your name and give it to the people you can vote for in your state with guardrails, focusing on you as an individual and your state as a unique place. And I bet you $1 you get better outcomes because it worked with welfare reform. And I bet you this, my good friend Bernie, Obamacare is a placeholder for Bernie Care. Bernie Care is socialism full born. He's a nice man, but if you want Medicare for all, you're going to wind up with Medicare with nobody. You'll have a card without a real choice. Don't consolidate all of your hopes and dreams for your family into the arms of the federal government because it's not going to work. I'll just end with this. We're going to go one of two ways in this country. We're going to create a future for our children that they can actually afford. We're going to deal with a $20 trillion debt, or we're going to pass it on to somebody else. And driving the debt is Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, and interest on the debt. Somebody needs to deal with this. I choose to be that somebody. Medicaid's a program worth saving, but it's highly inefficient, and we need to match it up with a sustainable growth rate, not cut it, and give people flexibility to run it better than they have today. So all I can tell you about this fight is just beginning. And to my friends on the other side, every group you cited told you that Obamacare would work. Every insurance company is against this bill, and if I were them, I'd be against it too, because we take money from them and we give it to the state government to help you. And all these other organizations, you don't think they'll have a voice in your state? You don't think somebody in your state will listen to them? This is not about caring. This is about changing things while we still have chance. Because 10 years from now, if we don't fix it today, it's going to collapse, and God help us all.
Thank you, Senator. Senator Klobuchar.
It has been such a privilege to be with y'all, and thank you for having me. There's several things we agree on tonight. We agree we have to do something about pharmaceutical costs. We agree that there should be access. We actually agree that Obamacare is broken because there's advocates for single-payer health care. What we disagree on is where the power should be. When I was a doctor, I learned if the patient had the power, if you had the power, the system lined up to serve you. If the state has the power, it can be more responsive to those who live in the state. If it is a federal bureaucrat, it's a formula. And so if we have a waiting list for those with disability, I'm sorry, you don't make the formula. If you need more money for opioid addiction, I'm sorry, you don't meet the formula. Under our plan, these dollars go to the state in a flexible block grant, and if there's a waiting list, you use it for the waiting list. If there's an opioid crisis, you use it for the opioid crisis. Ultimately, you use it for the patient because you have the power. I will end where I started. If it is a choice between you and the federal government, our plan chooses you. If you are for single payer, you choose otherwise. Thank you.